while I opened the hotel door and saw my wife Olivia in a bathrobe, her face red, and right behind her was a man still buttoning his shirt. My heart froze on the spot. 17 years of marriage collapsed in front of my eyes within seconds. The surprise I had planned for her turned into a nightmare I never imagined. Before I continue, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, because what you're about to hear is not just a story of betrayal, but of how one broken moment destroyed everything. It had all started so innocently. Olivia was away on a business trip in Boston, and I thought it would be a sweet idea to surprise her. Our kids, Ethan and Lily, were so excited when I told them. Lily clapped her hands and said, "Mommy will cry when she sees us." Ethan, my teenage son, tried to act cool, but I could see he was smiling. I booked the tickets, imagined her face when she opened the hotel door, and pictured us laughing together as a family. I had no idea that the smile I dreamed of would never come. The whole flight, Olivia never picked up her phone. Straight to voicemail every single time. I told myself she was busy networking, working late. She always had a reason. But something inside me felt wrong, and that unease grew with every mile closer we got to Boston. When we checked into the hotel, the receptionist casually mentioned that Olivia had checked in with a +1. My stomach twisted. A +1? I tried to laugh it off, saying it must be a colleague. But in my heart, I knew. I left the kids in our room, walked down the hallway and stood outside her door. My hands shook as I knocked. At first there was silence, then soft laughter, and then the door cracked open. And that's when I saw it, the truth staring me in the face. Olivia, flushed, nervous, whispering my name, while a stranger stood behind her. She said, "You should have called first," as if I was the one intruding. That single line broke me more than anything else. I stood there frozen, the kids' laughter echoing in my mind while Olivia tried to block the doorway with her body. The man behind her cleared his throat and said, "Is everything okay, Olivia?" Hearing him call her name so casually made my blood boil. I clenched my fists and asked the question I already knew the answer to. "Who is he?" Olivia stammered, "It's not what you think." But her eyes told me the truth. This wasn't an accident. This wasn't one mistake. The man stepped forward, tall, confident, buttoning his shirt. He stretched out his hand awkwardly. "I'm Daniel from the Chicago office. I didn't even know Olivia was married." Those words shattered me into pieces. He didn't know she was married. My wife of 17 years had erased me from her life so completely that this stranger thought she was single. Olivia flinched at my silence, whispering, "Please, not here." The kids. That reminder hit me like a hammer. Ethan and Lily were just a few doors down, waiting with shining eyes, thinking they were about to surprise their mother. How could I face them after this? How could I explain that the woman they worshipped had chosen lies over love? I stepped back, my voice low but sharp. "Get dressed, Olivia. The kids are here. You will face them." She looked terrified, not of me but of the truth coming out. Daniel muttered something about leaving and brushed past us down the hall, leaving behind only the stench of betrayal. When I returned to our room, Ethan looked up from his phone instantly. "Dad, what's wrong?" Lily bounced on the bed, her face glowing. "Did you find Mommy? Can we surprise her now?" My throat tightened. I forced a smile and whispered, "She'll be here in a minute." But deep inside, I already knew nothing would ever be the same again. A few minutes later, Olivia knocked on our door, her hair fixed, her makeup perfect, and her face pretending nothing had happened. Lily jumped off the bed and ran into her arms, shouting, "Mommy, surprise!" Olivia hugged her tightly, smiling like she was the happiest person alive. But her eyes met mine over Lily's shoulder, eyes filled with silent begging, as if she was pleading, "Don't say anything, not now." Ethan didn't move. He just sat on the bed, arms crossed, watching every fake smile his mother forced. We ordered room service, burgers, fries, and chocolate cake for Lily. She told Olivia every small detail about our secret plan. How we packed, how she convinced her brother to come along, how excited she was to see her mom's face. Olivia nodded, smiled, pretended, but her hand trembled each time she reached for her glass of water. Ethan noticed. His sharp teenage eyes caught every detail. He didn't eat, he didn't smile, he just stared at her. Then Olivia cleared her throat and said she had an important client dinner and couldn't stay long. Lily's face fell instantly. "But Mommy, we came all this way to see you," she protested, tears welling up in her eyes. Olivia kissed her forehead and promised, "Tomorrow, sweetheart. Tomorrow I'm all yours." She looked at me again, silently demanding my cooperation. I forced a bitter laugh, disguising it as a cough. Ethan leaned closer and whispered, "Dad, stop pretending." "I know what's going on." My heart sank. He wasn't a child anymore. He had already pieced it together. That night, after Olivia left, we walked along the harbor. Lily skipped ahead, pointing at boats lit up against the night sky. Ethan walked quietly beside me. Suddenly he asked, "She's cheating, isn't she?" His voice was calm, but it carried the weight of 1,000 storms. I hesitated, then finally whispered, "Yes, son, she is." Ethan didn't flinch. He just nodded and said, "I figured." And in that moment I realized my son had grown up faster than I ever wanted him to. The next morning, Olivia acted like nothing had happened. She walked into our room carrying coffee and croissants, smiling as if she were the perfect wife and mother. "Let's spend the day together," she chirped, her voice too bright, too rehearsed. Lily squealed in excitement, running to get dressed. Ethan, on the other hand, didn't move. He sat on the couch with his arms crossed, his cold eyes fixed on her. We toured the city. Olivia held Lily's hand, pointing out landmarks, posing for photos, pretending everything was normal. But Ethan refused to join the act. Every time Olivia tried to engage him, he shrugged her off. Finally, over lunch, his patience snapped. He leaned across the table and said loud enough for everyone to hear, "You don't get to play Mom of the Year after what you did last night." Olivia froze, her fork halfway to her mouth. Lily looked between them, confused. "What does he mean, Mommy?" she asked. Olivia's lips trembled, but no words came out. The restaurant went silent around us, and I felt my stomach knot. Olivia finally whispered, "Ethan, not here." But he slammed his hands on the table. "Why not? You weren't worried about where you were when you brought him to your room." His words cut through the air like glass. Lily burst into tears, not understanding fully but sensing something terrible. I pulled Ethan back, whispering, "Not now, son," but deep down, I knew he was only saying what I didn't have the strength to voice in front of them. Olivia's face burned with shame and anger, her carefully built facade collapsing under her son's raw truth. That day, nothing felt like family anymore. We walked together, but the distance between us was greater than ever. That night, after we got back to the hotel, the silence was unbearable. Lily had cried herself to sleep, hugging her stuffed bunny, while Ethan sat with his headphones on, pretending to watch something on his phone. Olivia stood by the window, staring out at the city lights, her hands trembling as she whispered, "Mike, please, can we talk?" I didn't answer at first. The only sound in the room was Lily's soft breathing and the hum of the air conditioner. Finally, I turned to her. "Talk about what, Olivia?" "About how you've been lying to us for months. About how Ethan had to watch his mother play happy family while sneaking around with another man." My voice cracked, not with anger this time, but with exhaustion. She covered her face with her hands and sobbed. "It wasn't supposed to happen like this. Daniel was just someone who listened when you didn't." Her words stung like fire. I stepped closer, lowering my voice. "Listened? Olivia, I gave you 17 years, 2 children, and my entire life, and you threw it away for someone who doesn't even know you're married." Ethan suddenly spoke up from the couch, his voice cold and sharp. "You ruined everything, Mom. You don't even realize what you've done to us." Olivia turned, reaching out, but he pulled away as if her touch was poison. The silence that followed was heavier than any scream. In that moment I knew this family could never go back to what it once was. Olivia had not only broken me, she had lost her son too. And still, the worst part was yet to come, because tomorrow I would have to make the decision that would change all of our lives forever. The next morning, I was quietly folding clothes into our suitcases when Ethan finally broke the silence. His voice was steady, but his eyes were red. "Dad, we're leaving her, aren't we?" For a moment I couldn't answer. He was too young to carry this kind of pain, but he already knew the truth. I nodded slowly. "Yes, son, we're going home today." Just then, Lily stirred from the bed, rubbing her eyes. Are we going to the park today, Daddy? She asked, her little voice full of innocence. I forced a smile. Not today, sweetheart. We have to head back home. Before I could say more, a knock rattled the door. Olivia. She stepped inside, her eyes swollen, her voice desperate. Please, Mike, don't do this. We can fix this. We can go to therapy. Just don't take the kids from me. Ethan stood up, anger flashing across his face. Therapy? You cheated, Mom. You lied to us, and now you want to pretend like it's just a mistake we can fix. His words were sharp, but they carried the hurt of a broken child. Olivia reached for him, but he stepped back. Don't touch me. You don't get to be my mom after this. Lily started crying, confused and scared. Why are you fighting? Mommy, Daddy, please stop. She ran into my arms, clinging to me while Olivia fell to her knees, sobbing. I looked at her one last time. You did this, Olivia, not me. You destroyed us. We packed in silence. Ethan helped me zip the bags. Lily wouldn't let go of my hand, and Olivia just sat there on the floor, broken. When we left for the airport, Ethan whispered to me, "We'll be okay, Dad, as long as we're away from her." But deep inside, I knew Olivia wasn't done. The real fight would begin once we got home. The flight home was heavy with silence. Lily slept in my lap, clutching her bunny, while Ethan stared out the window, his headphones on but no music playing. I couldn't stop replaying Olivia's desperate face in my mind, her begging, her tears, her fear of losing the children. But the truth was simple. She had already lost us long before. 3 weeks later, Olivia and I sat at the kitchen table, divorce papers between us. Her hand trembled as she held the pen. "I never wanted this, Mike," she whispered. I met her eyes, calm but cold. "Neither did I, but you left me no choice." With tears streaming down her face, she signed. The scratch of the pen was the sound of 17 years ending. Ethan came downstairs, glanced at the papers, and without a word put his hand on my shoulder. That small gesture said everything. He had chosen his side. Later, Lily crawled into my lap, whispering, "Daddy, will we be okay?" I kissed her forehead. "Yes, sweetheart, we'll be okay. Different, but okay." As I looked at my kids, I realized Olivia had taken something from me that could never be repaired. Trust. But she couldn't take away what truly mattered, the bond between me and my children. Because sometimes the greatest revenge against betrayal isn't anger or punishment. It's building a better life without the person who destroyed you.